My fiancé was engaged for about a month to his high school sweetheart named Mandy when she passed away in a tragic, freak accident. He has been very open about this loss and how it has affected him throughout our relationship. I know he misses her and the memories he has with her are important and special. We got engaged last year, but it's obvious throughout the planning process that I'm not only planning it for myself, but for Mandy as well. It started with comments from his family. A lot of "oh, Mandy would have loved this" type things. I brushed it off at first and just thought it was a way of them processing grief. I have a great relationship with his family, but I know they loved Mandy too. But then I went dress shopping with his mom and sister. They kept talking about what dress Mandy would have worn, what they could see her in, etc. It overtook the conversation so much that my bridesmaids told me later that they all felt uncomfortable for me. It turned from harmless comments into focusing what should be a special event for me into reminiscing over Mandy. My latest project has been compiling old photos of me and my fiancé for a slideshow at the reception, and my fiancé dropped a bombshell on me. He really wants to include some kind of in memory of Mandy into our wedding, and thinks the slideshow would be a perfect place. At this point, I was fed up with the Mandy comments taking over our wedding. I sternly told him that no, I don't think that would be appropriate, as this is our wedding and should focus on us. We are having a table with pictures of loved ones who passed, and she will be featured there. He told me that he doesn't think that's enough to honor her memory, but somehow it's enough to honor my dead relatives. He wants to incorporate her in a bigger way, as she never got her dream wedding. He also thinks it would be a sweet surprise for Mandy's parents, who are invited since he is still really close to them. I didn't even want them there because it feels like my fiancé is doing everything to keep holding on to Mandy. He doesn't want to move on from her, and it's affecting our relationship. He even dreams about her. I've heard him call her name when he's asleep. He wants to be with her. I lost my cool during that conversation and admitted that I was uncomfortable about Mandy taking over our wedding. I also asked him if he could ask his family to limit the Mandy comments at our wedding, since now I'm afraid the whole wedding will be focused on her. He said no. He did not want to do that because he hasn't gotten over her death. I told him there were better ways to honor her than to do it at our wedding where we're literally consummating our love. In a fit of rage, he confessed that he still wasn't over her, and that I would never compare to her. I was hurt and I left sobbing to my parents' house. There was nothing I could say to him at that moment. A day passed and he didn't contact me. His sister then texted me that it was so nice of me to include into the slideshow, and told me my fiancé was already picking what pictures to choose. I was so pissed hearing that. I called him immediately and asked him what the hell he was doing. He said that he doesn't care what I say because he needs to do this for Mandy. I said that I didn't want to marry him anymore if Mandy was always going to be his top priority over me. He told me to rethink my decision because there's no going back after this. I said fine, and hung up because I didn't want to be anyone's second choice. I'm still dealing with the pain, and I never imagined I would be breaking up with my fiancé. I really did want to marry him.